man, jeez. I mean, I was going crazy. And I kept saying, what are we going to do, what are we going to do? And Trigger's like, man, Calvin, I don't know if I could block that tree or cut him off, you know. And then after about 10 days, I said, you know what we're going to do what we've been doing all year. This is what they got against what we do. And we rushed for 300 yards against them. Nobody, they was averaging 77 yards a game, giving up. And there wasn't no gurus or no edges. We just did what we had been doing all year. It wasn't like we came up with no elaborate scheme. And they called us out the bowl game and wanted us to come meet with them because they could never be right. They kept wondering how we kept finding the right lanes because it's the discipline within the reads. So if you look at it, and I know I got Max on here first, which I wanted to kind of go over before, but I go over it on the board here. But this is Max. Now, remember, the back's mind, Coach, in the back's mind, he ain't worried about him. His only thoughts is 1 to 2. That's all he's thinking about. The guy's carrying 1 to 2. This guy, since he's in the ball game, thinks number 4 strong or number 4 weak. So we was running it with a second back in the game. Nothing changes for these 5 guys. They got the 3-line lineman and the 2 backers. We read him. Okay, so what happens is he has number 4 here. If we run it that way, he has number 4 here, meaning him or him, whoever drops. His read is as if he's carrying the football. He takes a zone step, and all these ain't gonna be perfect, but he takes a zone step, he reads number 1 to number 2. When he take his step right here, if this guy's not reached, I don't care if this guy runs 15 yards up the field, he's inside. Because the back ain't going like that. He ain't going, because his read's telling him to bang it.
Calvin, so if he is the, quote, lead blocker, he's going to read it just like a tailback.
Just like he's carrying the football. He's going to work his way to number 4. Just like he's carrying. If this guy is reached, he's outside. Because that's where the ball carrier's going. It's that simple for him. He has the ball. Now let's take this guy out of the picture. And let's move him right there to rip. Let's move him 2 by 2 right here. And say we run in quarterback zone. What's his job? As if he's carrying it. So that's how we able to still run the ball with numbers. If we wanted to run the zone play, he just got number 4. Let's take him and put him here in 3 by 1. And we want to run the zone quarterback. Same thing for him. He reads number 1 to number 2 to the number 4 defender. And everything stays. Once you teach the zone, you have taught it for every formation. You're running it. That's how we do it. Let the lineman handle the 5. The 3-line lineman and the 2, we handle all extras. With the belly triples or, zone reads, zone bubbles or whatever. So here, he should take his step. I don't know why I started with the 2 back. This is my favorite formation, but I should start with the 1 back. But once he takes, see right here, we know it. See, this is a Wade Blitzerland, and it's had shown on every one of your film. Right here, this is a Wade Blitzerland, cocked in, 1 technique, over the top of the slot. They may not do it, but it's still a good play. This was another play that was checked to the zone because we like running the zone right into the Wade Blitz. Right here, he's doing it right now. Boom, 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 boom. Got a shade. This is everything you want in the zone blitz. They come watch the left tackle, just pass it off to the guard, take the next lineman. That's not a great block by him, but he know he has number 4. His first read told him, I'm outside. Once see his eyes was on the first read, you can almost see it. This is true freshman. These are 2 true freshmen right here. This kid's out of North Babylon, and this kid's out of Philly. But there's 2 true freshmen. All he did was, and he just take a little longer than some of the guys that's been doing it a while. He put his eyes right on this guy to start with.
Calvin, I asked you a question on alignment. Backs and the quarterbacks in terms of
toes at 5.
Toes at 5 for both.
Toes at 5 for both. Anytime we're in the 20 personnel, it's toes at 5 for both.
For both running backs.
Yeah.
And
it's toe to heels on the tackle. Quarterback is toe to ends right in the middle of their feet. And we do that so you won't
So they're
force us
exactly-
down. Remember how we gotta come past them 2 steps?
Same plane though? They're
Same plane.
5 years.
Yeah. But we tell him to cheat back a half a step, the quarterback. So we can come through the handoff. We won't press him down here.
This is one of the, I mean, this personnel, I know you said you guys don't do it, but check with me, you can always get to the white side, to the A-gap defender.
You can always do
You
it.
can always get
You
there.
can always, that's why I like this one.
Right.
Because if we don't like running into 3 and 5, we can always find it. Well, then what teams do is play 2-2 techniques.
Right, yeah.
That don't bother us. That do not, because the way we don't man it and zone it off, 2-2 techniques don't bother us. You know, really, it really does not bother us too much. If the back's read is consistent in what he's doing. But you can always get to it. This is another information to go dummy cadence with. It's enough information to just line up and say, let me see what they're in, call play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but if you see it from the end zone, it's as simple as the 1 and 2 read right here. If this guy would have went outside, he would have came up inside. He would he ain't gonna fool with the nose here.
Right.
He's gonna go right now. He's going on this track. He's gonna come through here. We're gonna read. We still reading this guy. It's still a read for him, but this is the easy one. It's on blitz.
He's out of there.
Yeah, exactly. Now the other way, and we used to do this against Boston College. I was just talking to coach about this. The other way we did it both ways. We actually went at the soft dropper and into the zone. The one into it is better for us. But if he's softening the edge here, we'll go this way too with it. Because we got an extra defender. We got an extra blocker.
Right.
Now, there is some calls made, and I can go over this before we go back to it. Say we have it here, and we call, and I would have checked it to the 1 receiver side. Say it wasn't wave blitz. I didn't know wave blitz was coming. It wasn't wave blitz. And I checked it back to the 1 receiver side. This guy have the option. I'll leave it up to him. He has the option to work to number 4. If by film study he could tell he ain't dropping down, he have the option to make a max call to the lineman to let the lineman know I'm here. Just, hey, you got an extra blocker here. You see what I mean? So now, if we tell the lineman, let me go to the end zone. If we make that max call, that tells this guy right here, I don't have to chase this guy that hard. I got another guy can get him. I'm sorry, not this guy, this guy. It tells this guy, because he's gone, it's reach.
Right.
It tells the center now. If he makes max, I tell him not to do it too often, but we have done it. You'll see some on here. I tell this guy, if he hears max, I can hang on his nose a little bit, because I'm working to the backside backing down.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean, Coach?
Yep.
Now the danger in that is if you make the call and then all of a sudden he drops down, you got an extra defender. So that's through film study. You know what games you can go into and say, man, make the max call, he ain't dropping. You know, teams that may drop, I tell them to be careful. And I tell them never make it versus cover 2. Because then cover 2, the corner can come at any time, and he's your number 4. So never make it against cover 2. Cover 4, cover 3, without a weak side number 4, you can make the call. And it helps to play. But that's see even the guy that he has. I'm gonna show you something that's interesting on this play. Even the guy the guard think he has, once he crosses the guard, he ain't his. He passing right off to the center. Now once the tackle got his guy and he's inside, he done passed him off to the next guy. It's all just pass it off.
Now let me ask you this question, if I can, while we've got this defensive look here.
Mm-hmm.
If you're running belly
Yes,
Would anything change with those guys? If you have shots of that against Belly, we can wait.
we do have it.
Okay.
I do have it,
Talk
yes.
about that.
I
Good.
do have it, because that's where our main number one, y'all had the top 4 play, number 1 players, that's formation Belly Triple. Belly Triple. Yeah, it is a catch-all, can't be right defense. I mean, you know, it is you better be pretty good to stop it. You know what I mean? And we ain't even, we should be running bubble with it. If we ran bubble with that, I don't know how people gonna stop it. I'm scared to do it. I'm gonna show you why when we get there. But if I had the guts to run bubble with the Belly Triple and the quarterback short, I don't know how. It's hard to defend. I mean, every team we play said, man, we you know, you can't be right on defense. Now you gotta have, you know. I think that was me. I don't think that was.
Kevin, what did you end up saying you think the zone versus belly breakdown is on the year?
Oh, we had that. It feeds off each other like unbelievable. It really do feed off each other. Now we never really ran the true stretch play. We put one in this year. That's under center 2-back stuff, 4-minute offense. I got a few of those on here too. 4-minute offense in the game. We're trying to run the ball. We run a true stretch play. We don't run. It ain't like the zone in the belly. We might have ran that 20 times all year. The zone in the belly we run quite a bit. Now here's the same look, I think, against Rutgers. Same look. Remember, the back's thinking what? 1 to 2. I mean, his read is 1 to 2. He's thinking number 4. If we ran this way, he's thinking number 4. Nothing different. This is another way teams try to do is they try to play with 2-3 techniques or 2-1 techniques and get to the over and under. Well, we like that because since we're not manning it, it don't matter. We're gonna block who's ever in our gap, you know. But they try to go to 1 technique. This wasn't very smart because they just giving us the lanes, you know. And now the reason this is almost a lock position for this tackle right here.
Left tackle.
The left, he have no B gap defender. So why chase in there? So you're gonna see him start, but then he's just gonna take whatever comes off his butt. There's nothing to go to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're gonna see him start, but then he's just gonna wheel back, and if the guy was tight enough, he would have grabbed him. But the front side is just pass it off. You know, the guard pass it right to where the center gets him. The back is an extra guy. You know, in a perfect world, the guard would have passed him up, scraped on up to him. But or the back would have done it. You know, passed him off but we don't never really work down when the back passes somebody off. But so they both just stone the guy, takes the angle inside out right there. And that's what I'm talking about the wave blitz. It's not the true wave blitz, but that's the alley you're gonna hit most of the time. You know, because we call 2 different wave blitzes. One where the both back is outside, and one where they keep the end outside and bring the safety in the back or inside. But it's always the same. You just pass it off and take your track.
Personnel-wise, Calvin, feel like you like obviously bigger backs, guys that can block.
Well, I used to think that until I had 2 small guys back there, and they did an adequate job. Aaron Coburn was 5'7", 189 pounds, and still was, he really did a decent job. These guys, Jason's a big boy. This boy, Steve, is about 100, and he sucks at blocking, but he just gets on people, just getting their way. You know, he's getting knocked around, he's just getting their way, just fitting up on them. He's got to get better with that, you know. But that's what I meant. That's when I said earlier I got lucky. I got a 250-pound kid right here, right now, that can carry it like him. Not like him, but he can carry it, and he blocks like a big old true fullback. He was 250 pounds. But I got lucky there. This kid just walked on campus and walked on. You know. But Jason's a big kid. The other kid I was starting for, Jason's a 200-pound kid, 195-pound kid. They're not trying to knock the guy out. They're just trying to get on. Now, Jason could block for a freshman. He was pretty good. Now, understand this, too. I forgot to mention this. And I might have some on here. With Max now, with Max, we still a bubble this time. Because remember, we ain't worried about him blocking the overhands. We'll bubble this sometimes too, just to pull him out of there. And if he wants to peek his buddy here, we'll throw the bubble. So we same side bubbling too. It's not always away from the play. And you'll see some on here.
So how do you just tag it, Calvin? Is
Yeah,
that
this is 36 bubble. Now 36, he just blocks. If we go 36 bubble, they block 36, they run bubble. That's the combination of, having both best of both worlds.
And based on what they do, you could game plan whether you want the outside guy cracking or not. Like in this case,
Yeah.
this look right here, you want him to crack.
Like in this case,
Yeah.
we'll go 36 balk.
Right.
That's why I look to see if I want to bubble it or balk it.
Yeah.
Right here to be a balk. Cover 3 is balk. You want to balk cover 3. 36 balk. Crack, run the play, enter the bubble, the balk,
Yeah.
with him one-on-one to come on. But it goes back to the goals. You want to be able to run the zone no matter what. Then all that other, the bells and whistles are just gravy, it helps you. But I don't know if all that other stuff is that effective if we wasn't even running the zone. If we was getting stuffed every time we run the zone, they would say, we'll play the zone with the minimum amount of people and then play these perimeter guys. You know what I mean? But remember the reads, 1 to 2. And for the back, it's simple. It is 1 to 2. These are easy.
Tempo, this would be your regular.
This regular. You can tell by the
Because he's walking over and looking.
Yeah, yeah. Now let me show you something that the rookie almost screwed up. The rookie almost bit the cheese on his second read. You see, and you see it a lot, and with young guy, he's almost about to take that lane because it opened up. And to be honest with you, it would have been there if we would have cut him off like we were supposed to. You know what I mean? So, but he almost took the cheese right there and stayed on his track.
almost took the bend?
He almost took the bend. Because one of the other elements of a guy not being reached, Coach, is if he's not reached but running hard. You almost got to treat that like he's not reached. Here's now here, right here. Number 4 for him. I break both parts. I must have not worked those today. Number 4 for him is here. We can run this either way. Number 4 for him is here. Number 4 for him is here. Or here. Right here. So same thing. And this might be, no, it's not just trailer 5. Now, this, when he walks up here, right here, who becomes number 4? So when he walked down, how was that? When he walked down,
backer now.
1, 2, 3, 4, he became number 4.
He's the safety now.
He's the safety.
Safety's the backer.
They're gonna stay in the core. They're gonna block the first 3 down linemen in here. Right here. So he just passed it off to the guard. Reed's easy for him. Here's Reed's made. It's a bounce. It's a bounce. He gonna pass it off, come up to the next level right there, and that's your lane. He's got to be the same every time. The minute he goes inside the tackle, will not chase. Don't take the cheese. Don't take the cheese. Let him go. Let him go to the guard.
Now, my only question is for you, Ron, and Calvin is, boy, that's a tight track by the right tackle here. I mean,
Yeah. Well, this is. Let me go over this with you so you can know. The minute he had an outside guy. I'm sorry, I
He's
should have said
thinking
this.
blitz, right?
He's thinking he's coming inside.
Right.
Okay.
So he's making an
So I don't want to go wide.
So he makes an overcall.
Right.
Makes an overcall to the guard to say, "Come with me." That's why they know right now they're gonna go through on that track.
Right, so once you make an overcall, that center knows I got no help.
Exactly.
And
That's
over-
exactly right.
An overcall will always trump a tip.
Exactly. That's exactly right, Coach. He makes a call. Oh. He's telling the guard, come with me.
Right.
Because I think this guy gonna slack. Now that's just to alert him, and and that's because he might, the guard may have a one technique on where he's trying to tip and go up,
Right.
so that alerts him, come with me, take a flat step and come.
Right.
That alerts him right there. And I tell this guy, don't try to reach him, don't try to inside out him, just go get on him, just go fill him up.
So run, no cuff, go gut.
Right.
Now here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Here's the exchange. See how he's chasing and he's exchanging, so they got us. But I'm convinced that it's harder to chase from a 3 and a 5 than it is a 1 and a 5. Yeah, I'm just convinced. It makes him run the hump a little bit more. And they gave this away. They gave this scrape away. Remember I said anytime they're in the under front, where it's the over front, because that's
His linebackers so wide.
he's wide. He in his A gap.
He's in a C gap. But my question to you is, why is the quarterback giving it here? Because he knows.
Well, first of all, he just got alerted to the straight backer, so he knew this guy's unblocked. Now, we had already made the call to send him through no matter what. Now, in a perfect world, the call would have been taken off and he would have took that tighter step and he would have just high-walled this guy. Now, he's already out of position for this straight. But that's a guessing game. That's a guessing game. I want to see this guy make this play before we drastically.
Well, see, this is the difference in how we run it and why this is so much sounder. It's a series is that they can squeeze scrape on a cut play with the 3 and a 5 back there.
Yeah.
But they can't squeeze scrape if the thing
On the wide
bounces.
play, right.
Right.
I mean, if it's hard, it's hard.
Right. And that's why I like this formation so much, because you're safe if they drop a guy weak or strong on you. You're safe with being able to block number 4. Now we love squeeze, squeeze scrape versus the belly triple. Cause boy, they got some issues. They got some serious issues to remove a guy. And remember, we come here on belly.
Now, you may have already said this. If you have, Calvin, forgive me, but if you've got 20 personnel and you think you know which side they're going to squeeze scrape, i.e. the 3 and the 5, you can just run it right at it.
You could treat it almost like that wave blitz.
Right.
That's exactly right. Because he's going to go inside, you clamp it, and you got him for number 4, and it's the same thing.
Out the gate.
It's out the gate. It is out the gate. Another way to do it, if you want to know the truth, and we're going to do this, we just didn't have to. But I already had the answer for squeeze scrape when we had done it, so you get it before we even run it. Is to do what? Think about the philosophy of the offense. No matter who you got at quarterback, I'm giving you a tip.
I'll tell you what we do, but it ain't the simplest thing.
What's that?
Is we just run basically a hot receiver. Basically, receiver just runs into the area.
Yeah.
We bootleg, they squeeze scrape, and we just throw with the vacate.
And we do that, and that's on that tape he's taping right now. That's our naked series, though. Where he comes like he's getting the overcover and then back out to the flat, curly cube. So, but the best way, we just never had to do it because this guy never made the play. But the first answer to this zone was going to be to still send him through so we can clap the tree off, and he runs the ball. You run 36 quarterback. Now, instead of handing it to him, he does the same thing he's doing. So he ain't got nothing to do now. So what do?
He just blocks off the
He's the backside cover. See, we've been holding that because we haven't had to do it. But here it is. For these guys, it ain't no different. The back nose now is quarterback. It ain't me. I'm the backside cover. I just stayed on my side and go right at that tackle's butt, cut him off. Now he's standing out here in no man's land and he ain't even chasing the play. That's what gives you that extra number, coach. That's what gives you that golly, you know. Okay,
So the back's gonna block the scrape by
Yep.
linebacker, and you're gonna lock with the tackle?
no, he can go. You don't want to lock at the tackle means he
Let the
stays
back
on
end
in.
run.
You just
Let him do, yeah.
So you're blocking the back on the squeeze guy?
Yeah, the backside in. Just get his way. Just cut him. Just now what they gonna do? The only way to stop the play is to scrape it, I believe. Is to scrape it. Let him try to run it down from behind. See how you almost got there? Now he's that much farther away from who's carrying the ball, and he's got somebody right on him. If you run the same play right there, if you run the same play
With the quarterback?
with the quarterback right there, now he's right here to cut him off. They don't have defense. And they got the most you can have in there. They got 8 there, can't, unless they want to leave a receiver. They got the most they can have in there. Well, they got 7, but they kind of counting that overhead guy. You know, that's the 8 guy.
Now, in that particular case, you end up getting a double on the B-gap player there? Or you just gonna keep going
With the quarterback running.
with the quarterback running?
No. On this guy?
Yeah.
No, they won't block.
I'm talking about the backside B-gap player, what?
The 3-10.
Oh yeah. I mean, they just like this. I don't know why. This kid's a true freshman too. I don't know why he's chasing the nose.
Right.
He's supposed to be up. He's supposed to protect his backside B gap, but he's hanging on it too long. You know, I know what he's doing. He's thinking, boy, I can't let him come back dorms. But he, you know, so he's kind of right, but he need to be thinking about his streets. He's just trying to put the backside three on the ground. So I'll just get on his legs. That's all you need to do to him. He's done. You know, but if you cut him, so to answer the question, because you don't get a true double team on the tree, but you could.
You end up with 2 guys.
But the reason is the reason you can't send him up is because remember, if this guy goes too far backside, Dan ain't chasing him.
Right.
Dan coming on up. He's leaving him for the guard. So instead of covering his ass, you know, his butt, making sure they got on back door to the center.
So you should cover his ass, but then nothing's there.
Didn't work
Cover it
out.
And seal it.
Right. That's what Tricky would say about him all the time. He was saying he ain't playing square enough. You know, once he committed to that, he's staying there instead of coming on back up through.
So getting back to it, Calvin, another reason that you like 20 personnel so much is you get your built-in squeeze scrape answers so easy.
You got it. It's simple. It is right there in your face. It really is. I mean, you got belly triple. You can do this squeeze scrape. You got quick. You got a lot of stuff you can do, and it's a catch-all. You know, if you're gonna go fast, and that's what I be telling you know, Rich, and if you're gonna go fast, then I want to be in a little bit of a comfort zone to be safe. You know, I'm protected both ways. Easy. Number 4 over here, number 4 over here. You could block it. You should fall to number 4 if number 4 drops. So we don't care if he drop or not. We can get him. Right. Now here without a guy dropping in,
Right.
this guy would have
Right.
he would have had to still get him.
I'm with you.
Right. See, but we know he's gonna drop. You know what I mean? Now the reason he's outside because this guy looks reached right there. See, to him he's reached. Now what he's doing wrong, and I get on this is a big boy right here. What he's doing wrong is he ain't giving me a good enough zone stuff. He took a little baby one, but that's to buy him time to make that read. He can't just start downhill right now. That's to give him time to make that read. He should be 2 steps past the court, 1, 2. Now chase his heels down, right there. Chase his heels down. Plus his first read told him he's reached. And then the receiver's out here loafing. You know, not getting on this guy. But it's the same read. He's scraping it there.
scrape there and he can't get you because it's a wide zone.
So why? Yeah, exactly. Plus, he got to make that play. Now, if he would have started being a problem, my first answer would have been to let him run it and let him just cut him. And to tell you the truth, we went into the bowl game because we liked the matchup on the strong safety. We went into the bowl game calling 30. We never had to call it though, because we was trying to hold that, you know. But we went into the bowl game with saying 36 crack. Now what 36 crack was don't worry about going to get him, just go crack him to have the exchange. Now they would have had us here because they exchanged with the guy waiting here, but it still would have been one-on-one with a perimeter player. So on the snap, instead of him trying to get him, he would have just came straight down the line to crack the exchange back around. And we knew from film that he was going to always sink in a little bit because of his course and the action running away from him.
Calvin, are you saying you want the quarterback to keep it because you know you got a crack block in the back?
Well, it still would have been a read. Like,
Right.
yeah, with
Still a
the
read.
right if we expect an exchange, okay. This is I'm just giving
Exchange
you.
means squeeze.
I'm just giving you. Yeah, that's what we call it, exchange. Like D and linebacker exchange. So we said, let's just crack. Let's crack the exchange. We don't need the backside guy. You know what I mean? So on the snap, he was just going to run right in here and just be in position to crack the guy. So now the quarterback puts his eyes just on the read. So when we get to this point right here, boom, that's a pull read for him. And he would have been cracking him when he took back off at the quarterback running. And he was sinking so much, it still would have been a foot race or one-on-one. But that's just little bells and whistles that go with handling the exchange. So we had the cutter we could have used, we had the exchange, and we never did none of it because the guy never made the play. But we wanted to have the answer for it in case he was making that play. Like Florida State, he would make that play. That guy was faster than the backs we had. The DN.
Do you think you can make a running back a good zone runner?
I think so. And you know what? I've been asked that a lot, Coach, because we've had guys that could not run the zone. Have never run the zone. And the reason I say I think you can make him run, I think you can take an average guy and make him good as a runner. Because you telling them what to do. You can take a smart kid who's intelligent enough to say, all I'm going to do is what the coach tell me to do. The difference might be, again, 7 yards as opposed to, okay, I'm going 80. That's the only difference. Where one back may go 7 every time or 5 every time, the other one may take it to the house, and you have to just live with that. You can't do nothing about the personnel. I had Quincy Wilson who wasn't going to go 80 yards, but he was going to get up in there and get something because he was going to make his reads right.
So you know a team's going to squeeze scrape, you're still going to force that DN to make the play before you're going to.
Yeah,
change.
we don't do none of those gadgets or bells and whistles until that guy's making the play. I need to. Boy, this is a pretty one right here. I'm gonna show you why. Here's a deal where, let me go back to the why. Here's a deal where I think he made the max call. Because I remember us jumping on Moses about this one, okay? Or he may not have made the max call, but say, all right, let me talk to both of them. Say he didn't make the max call. He's an extra guy. And the center's telling me he probably didn't make the max call. There's no way for us to know. There's no way in our calls. All I can do is trust the kid and I say, did you make the max call? You know, there's no coach. Till you see the film, you can't prove it. But you can watch the lineman and say you couldn't have made it. And if you made it, they didn't hear you. Because remember, if he makes the max call, he ain't chasing him. He's going to lock up through this center for backside scrape. So the fact that this guy's chasing him made me think Jason didn't make the max call. right? Because he might have been spooked by where he is or where he, they could kick it over and bring him. So if he didn't make it, fine. But this is the beauty.
But this is an obvious max call, right, Calvin, here?
I would say, yeah.
No overhang, middle safety?
No, he ain't kicking over, he ain't coming, he ain't dropping down. Yeah, but I've always told him, if in doubt, don't make it. I say, very worst case scenario, we got an extra blocker. Worst case scenario, we got an extra blocker. This one, we're dumb. We're dumb on this one. This should have automatically been a bubble added to this. Because they're already in an exchange position. 2 outside means automatic give to him, quarterback. If they got a 5 or a tight 5 in an overhang, that's an automatic give. Because they both can be up to, just give it. You know what I mean? Because he's too tight to play the exchange or whatever. So that's our fault. I should have had a bubble with this. This alignment should have been a bubble. So there's 2 options when you're in the box. You could call bubble, or what we call radar lock. You can call that screen, or you could just add the bubble to the run play. Remember, all you're talking to is these 3 guys and the quarterback.
If you had, do you think it would be a good thing if you had a quarterback, veteran, savvy kid, whatever? Would you always give him the bubble? Like you've got the bubble. No matter, when we're in this personnel grouping 20, you've always got that to go to.
That's what I want to get to. I want to be able to say, Pat, we believe in you enough to take it if you got it. Even if I don't give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Take it if you got it on this run play. I mean, he ain't going to be 100%, but I bet you be right more than, a lot more than he's wrong. I'm not to that point yet to give him that. I got a controller now. I should have added a bubble to this play. But the reason I didn't is because I was lacking the numbers to run the ball over there. But in the better way, and I got to get better with this, I need to take that ball. I need to add that bubble and give him that option to throw it out there. I really do. But here's one where, see, we didn't bubble this. But see, now I'm glad I didn't, because the guy kicked out.
Right, yeah.
So, but at least now he would know to give it. Once the guy kicked, his eyes would go right on that, give it. Still have the option to give it. But here's one where the tailback, the extra guy, makes his read. Remember his first read's telling him to go inside. What's his second read telling him to do?
Go inside.
Go inside. He ends up on the backside linebacker just from doing the right. Now he does a poor job when he get there.
Let me ask you this.
Because they did a good job of slanting it away so the tackle can't get to him. See how the guy's running? But because of the extra blocker, we end up still on the guy. He's right on the quail, right there.
If this guy makes his max call,
Right.
okay, that now tells him, okay, I'm not chasing here,
I can
I'm
clamp
coming
it back.
here.
Yes.
Does that change him and saying, instead of chasing him,
No.
I'm going to step and then help here?
No, it doesn't. You can do that, but it doesn't. It doesn't. We only expect these 3 guys to hear what he's saying.
So you're saying you get 3 on 2 on the backside once you make a max call?
Yes. That's why we do it. If we don't have a number 4 to block, we say, why waste him? Let him make sure that, see, now this guy's slanting off his butt, it's stoned, and then for him, and now he comes right off on him.
You're lucky to get this cut without a max call here right now.
No,
On this particular play,
we're lucky to get because
it's hard to block that one technique from that backside guard.
Exactly. That's exactly right. That's why I tell them, if in doubt, don't make the call. And we got an extra blocker. And it's perfect. You can see Jason. Jason's a veteran. Jason's a 4-year guy. He started, he was our leading rusher returning this year. He just had a bad first game and lost his job. But you can almost see Jason's eyes go on his 1 to 2 read. 1, 2, bang. You can see him. And he's been doing it a while.
I'm confused here. Why does he come all the way back, the back?
Because of his second read.
Okay.
All he's doing is coming. He's just
running.
following his reads. He's the running back. That's what he would do if he was running the ball. That's exactly how he would run it if he was running it. First read, bang. Second read, not reach, bend. That's exactly how he would have ran it. He just fell into the backside linebacker.
He's got to be he's got to be right on it because you don't want to. He's not going to get in the way. He's got to hit it.
Yeah, this is perfect. He's doing it just like he's supposed to do it right. just like he's carrying the football. He just do a poor job on the block. But he's really expecting to come off on 35. But he see Dan keep chasing that, so he just replaced him. You see, in the perfect world, Coach, the max call would have been made, and Dan would have been on 52, and he would have been fitting on 35.
But you still get your bases covered, you get extra guy.
Yes.
Would the center, if the max call was made, would the center be able to give you a little chip on that one?
Yeah, he would, because
Right.
now he knows I ain't chasing the front side
Right,
linebacker.
yeah, I got you.
That tells him I ain't chasing the front side linebacker. They got a guy for him. I ain't chasing.
So Ron, our terminology, that would go to a
Call.
call,
Yes,
from a call.
correct.
Now, if nothing said, it's assumed whatever cop the first call. If nothing said, he's assuming I'm full zone. I gotta go.
Right, right.
The only thing takes him off is something he hears from us. And I leave it up to these guys. I teach them the looks, when to make it, when not to
Right.
make it, and when they could be a little bit in the gray area.
I'll tell you what's tough on the defense is, as I just look at it, is you don't know how you're getting combo blocked.
Right.
Where the help
Because the
is,
back's in the equation, where's the help coming?
Yeah.
You have no idea. You have no idea. It's really, yeah, but it don't affect the backside now. The backside got to go. Backside got to go. Even if it was May, he thinking I still got to cut this one off.
Right.
He was going to be surprised when he sees Dan stoning for him. Now he can get on him,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Now Dan's smart. Dan may make a little something to him and let him know. Dan's smart enough to go, hey, I'm with you, or something.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, but I don't hear all that, you know. But these guys are, you know, this guy's pretty salty right here. He's pretty good. And he probably telling, this boy's a freshman, so he's probably telling,
Right.
hey, bro, I'm
Try to
with
help
you.
him out a little
Yeah.
bit.
He don't care. He's gone. He's got to go. That's just a poor job by Jason on block. But he's in the right spot. Same with 2 outside, got to give it. And I'm a dummy again. What should I have done here?
Bubble.
I could. He can't block him. So he's a wasted player. He's just going to block the deep safety. I should have bubbled him. I mean, really, I should have bubbled. I should have said bubble. But I'm not, I get, you know, they always on me about not calling this enough. But I'll be looking at this. I'll be like, well, you know, we got to run. But it don't hurt. And I've said this last week in the meeting. I said, I don't know why I just don't bubble every one of them. Sometimes no, let's not bubble it. Sometimes because, and this is the reason. Because sometimes it's what Coach said. Sometimes because I want him to go chase the cover down, to set the naked up.
Right.
When he goes in there, we full floor, he come back and throw this ball there.
Right.
So, you know, sometimes you're trying to see how they plan him going to try to block the cover down for play action. That's why you don't, you know, I answer my own question, you know, but then I go back and forth saying, why not just bubble him every time? But then you're not setting play action up. But see, this they fit this right. To them, the first read's reached. To both of them guys, the first read is reached right now. So it's a bounce. It's a bounce. And you know, and defense is a puzzle because they wonder how we always right. But they don't know we're going to make it right.
Right.
But to them, boom, he's reached. He's reached. So
To who is he reached?
to the back, to the lead blocker in the back,
Right.
he's reached. This right here,
Now you're looking like this could be an easy bang.
that's the discipline part I'll be talking about. This is the one where he takes that lane, make him miss, and you celebrate, but he's wrong. Because, you know, it may work against, I won't say the school name, so I'm gonna put, you know, it may work against the lesser players,
Right.
but it ain't gonna work against the better players, because that guy gonna hit them right in the mouth. So you have to teach it,
Or
no
the
matter who you're
defensive end.
playing. Or the
Same
defensive
thing.
end.
He can peel off of that.
Because you
one back.
coach offensive line. If you're trying to reach outside arm, where's all your weight, strength,
Yeah, you're
and
on
you?
point.
So the guy just falls right back off, and you wonder what happened. I had him reached.
On the read, do you talk about the tackle's hat? Or you just talk about being covered up? I mean,
I talk about the hat. See, and right now, he see the hat's inside.
yeah.
So you know he's reached. And then the lineman who knows what we're supposed to be reading turn around going, what the hell reach? What are you doing in there? You know what I mean?
Right.
They'll be the first ones looking. The right tackle, they know they're about to get fussed at.
Right.
So they looking saying, what are you doing?
Right.
You should never get tackled in there, you know.
I'll go out on a limb here and say, Clifton Dawson, who had a
Bang
misplay,
this.
no, he would bang it every time. He would bang it every time. But if he's disciplined,
If he's disciplined.
he'll kill.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
This is the exact picture right there of what I'm talking about is tempting to take.
Mm-hmm.
It is tempting to take that lane.
It's a lot of daylight.
But you got to understand the play. You got to understand the play. You got to make them right. That's part of that, coach, to make them right. See how you keep now.
He started
He
to again.
watch it. He almost took the cheese.
I'll tell
Now,
you what, it's
I'm-
nice when you kind of dip it
I'm
and then.
gonna tell you what
Sounds like
I'm
a
gonna
fun
tell you
flag.
what the guy told me. Now he's a really good player, or he's very, very, very smart. Because I remember this play particularly, and I see, I got him on the phone, and I said, Stevie, what are you doing? You know, I saw you almost took the cheese. He said, Coach, I was just trying to freeze the guy. I knew I was going outside.
It is. I mean,
So he had the right answer,
Mhm.
and I almost believe him. I almost believe him because as you watched him play, he did that quite a bit because he was fast enough to trust his speed. He was fast enough to do this and say, I was going to still get that, coach. But he always had the right answer for me. So he was smart enough already as a freshman to know the right answers to say, Coach, I knew it was reached. I saw it. I was just trying to freeze the guy. And you know, when you watch it, it looked like, because he never really went in there,
Yeah.
you know.
just because that
He-
little shoulder dip.
yeah, he never really went in there. He said, I was just trying to freeze him so the backside time can get to him.
Now, see, I can see Clifton here, coach, saying, you know what, I should go outside, but I just want to go get that
I
line.
can say,
I want to run over the
I
line.
can say, Coach was saying, fuck you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
And we had a back like that, Quincy Wilson. Remember watching
Yeah,
Quincy?
yeah, sure.
Now, and
I remember
Quincy,
him from high school.
I don't like the guys watching Quincy film as much because Quincy would flat run over that guy and go
Right. That-
40 more yards.
He's kind of like our guy
Yeah,
is.
but it ain't the right thing to
Right.
do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll tell you, the freeze thing ain't a bad deal though, in terms of the next level of this play.
Yeah,
I mean, you got the big bubble, but he's basically unblocked.
yeah. If he get back, you know, if he's fast enough to get back the way he's supposed to be doing. But see, number 4 is dropping. Now this is a no max call all the way. I mean, this
Right.
guy
He
is
can't
making you
max
nervous,
this,
spooky. You think he's dropping. I don't know what it looked like from the wide, but the guy's moving around enough to make you not want to make that call.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now this is another good one because I remember this one, most recent game. This guy's number 4.
Kind of just talk about something you said that makes perfect sense to me from a running back standpoint is, you don't have to have great instincts for this. You're telling his ass exactly where he's going, and there's not, right now, there's a lot less gray area than I thought
It's a
there'd
lot.
be.
No, it makes it simple. You want us to keep it simple. Only time I tell them to use their instincts is after they did what I told them to do.
After they get past that first level.
After they get past that first, now be a football player. I don't try to say, we do have one rule, run north and south and react to the danger being tackled. So when he do make that one move, that's old Homer, I forget Homer's last name. He said-
Rice.
Yeah. He run north and south and react to the danger being tackled. That means don't be playing around, dancing, all that. Once you go north, you run north and south until you have to do all that.
Right.
That's the only rule. But I don't like taking their natural instincts away. Except on zone, they got to do what I'm telling them to do for that 1-2 read. And on belly, and I'll go with the belly reads when we get to belly. They got to do that. You know, because I remember Steve saying, Coach, man, I could make that guy. I remember Steve when he first got there, 2 days. And I didn't play him for 3 games because he was not doing what I told him to do. Because he would go in there and make a guy miss, but it wasn't going to last. And I said, when you start making the reads the way that's why the other boy played first, the Jason Weldon kid, because Jason was doing it. Jason had spent all summer with me learning and studying. Stevie came in two-a-days and thought he was faster than everybody, quicker than everybody, and just thought he was going to make people miss, like he did in high school. I said, not until you run this 1-2 read, you're going to do it. So that's why Steve started doing it. Now he's a better football player, because not only can he make you miss and all that, he was doing the reads. But here's one where you see, and again, I don't care at this point. This is a good time to stop it right there. I don't care if this guy right now takes off up the field. He might as well just stay on the side. You go inside.
Right.
Because that's what your read told you to do. And watch Owen here come back inside and end up fitting right back on. Mm-hmm. Poor job, but the fit is right back on. Right. That's you see it from the ends of officials with now. I might never see that. He just fell on his own. No, he kind of got run over. He should have found that guy number and flagged him the next time. But then I don't care what he do. Mm-hmm. It's not to a man, it's to your area. And right now, he is not reached.
Right.
And it's tempting for this guy to say, he was right there, coach, I just went and blocked him.
Can you start that from just the end zone?
Mm-hmm.
Start.
Right there?
Yeah, I want to see his No, his first step's pretty good.
Yeah, the first step.
I thought maybe Crowder himself.
No, this guy's a lot of guy. He penetrated him a little bit by knocking him back, so it looked like that. But right here, and that's tempting to go block that guy because it looks like he's coming up. But then he can't do that. He's got to trust what he's being told because he ain't going out there.
Right.
Because he know what his read is. He's right back inside to fit it. And if we stay on these blocks, like this guy comes off at the last minute right there, he is out. He's to the safety.
Right.
Calvin, how much quicker do you want the running back coming in the B gap here, the C gap here?
This one?
Yeah, the front side blocker.
The problem is he didn't get contact right away, so he's waiting to see. So now he just got up on. That's why he thought he didn't take the zone step. He thought he came downhill. But he's okay right here. Maybe a half a step, but you can't.
So you don't worry that it gets a little crowded?
No. Long as he works his butt right. See, he's thinking here and said, boy, I better get back inside. He knows it, because if he gets stuck out there, this guy's just going to fall back in on the play. And that's his eyes are perfect. He's good right here. I could see Stevie on the first read. But again, the key to the play, coach, is that he don't make his mind up to after he have chased down the tackle's butt. See, he's chasing down his butt. That makes him flow. That makes him get away from all his inside trash. And now he's clear to do whatever he needs to do in the lane. And except for the freshman here, we had a little hard time with this backer. We on the safety. That boy's a freshman. He's
the guard?
Yeah, he's
That's
tough boy.
He just fights for that leverage.
And these boys are going to be first, second round picks. And he just went in there and he was getting his butt whipped.
Yeah.
But every time he was locked up. What I mean is there was manhandling, but he was locked up.
Right.
And we was able to get by him.
He's battling for leverage here.
See, he's later than the center. He should have been gone. And even though Dan get knocked back a little, he's locked up. He's on. There's a body on the body. And I wish he would have, well, he did a decent job.
One more time on that back. Now, the first time you, early in the spring or whatever, he's going to end up bending this because he's not sure, right?
Early he's going to think he's not reached. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Right there, he's going to want to take that lane.
Right.
But you got to keep harping, press to his butt. The only way to take him off pressing to his butt is if this guy then penetrated 4 yards in the backfield. Yeah. That took him off that course to that tackle's butt.
When you say press to his butt,
chase his butt down, chase his heels down,
We actually used to call the play 32, 33, or 36, 37 chase.
chase,
I mean, yeah.
to help him chase.
Yeah, I mean, that was the name of the play.
He's
That was
got
the
to
flag.
chase that leg down.
Yeah.
He's got to. He's got to. Or it's gonna be you ain't allowing the time.
Did it?
Has
Calls
to.
it chase, huh?
Bengals.
That's
you
what I
mentioned
thought,
them,
was
yeah.
chase.
Now this is the 3-1. Now let me tell you what happened. Now this is the bubble with the zone. So he's got an option. He's actually reading this one out. You can see it. He didn't predetermine it, even though maybe that guy spooked him. He's reading. This is a tree. He's reading it out. Now, this is what I'm talking about, coach, right here. If he would have ran it, if he would have squeezed where he had to keep it, and this guy would have took off running at him, he still controlled the bubble. This is a perfect example. If this guy would have been a little closer and took off running at him to come make the tackle, he would have made a decision right now to go still toward the ball. We had two phases of this play. We could have handed the zone off, or we could have threw the ball. And they would have been wrong either way on defense. But, we had numbers to hand it. The guy gave him the pull read right here. The give read, I mean. Right? That's his eyes go right on him right now.
Yeah.
That's how I get my exercise in practice. I beat that guy a lot against. I make the scout teams get out. I be below. I be out. I got to get in shape. That's why I'm on my diet. Because I like to play that guy. Because I want to see him. I want to make sure he's looking.
Right.
Now, my fullbacks play that for me too. I've taught them how to do the reads or make them do. So I put the fullbacks there sometimes. Because if a guy's loafing on you on defense, you don't get any better with it. If he's just coming across the ball,
Right.
he's got to do something. Come off the ball, chase or something. We got a guy that runs the scout team that's pretty good. He make them exchange and all that stuff.
Do defenses play with that guy? Like, make him a loafer make him a gray area guy to give you a hard
Do
time?
what now?
Can a defense do that with a defensive end on purpose? Make him a gray area player where he's gonna.
The toughest thing, the toughest read for the quarterback is the square shoulder DN that squeezes it square.
Right.
That's the toughest read for him.
Yeah.
That's a give for him.
But if you go into it,
Because he ain't chasing the play if he's squeezing like that.
Right.
if you go into it with your philosophy, like you said, if he's got to make a play before we're going to
Yeah, that's a
change
give
it,
for
then
him.
right.
Now, we have went to some games and said, if this DN squeeze it, pull it on him, he can't catch it. Big old slow DN trying to do that, he ain't catching it. Just take off. But it's a give read under the theory. Because he ain't chasing the play.
See, he's chasing because his shoulders haven't turned.
Because the shoulders are square.
You see his numbers give it.
Yeah. It's a good read. But here's perfect. Now his read is out. His first read went in, so I'm thinking bounce.
Bounce, right.
And that's what he did. He just took it right at his butt, and just found it. See, he early he went.
Tackle's on a linebacker here, so now he's just making a play.
Yeah, he's just making a play. But the black thing I liked about what he did here is he still tried to be disciplined enough to chase his butt before he made that play. And this is what screwed up Cincinnati. Cincinnati, to cover all of this stuff, was trying to get help from the backside
Right.
safety on the
Right.
3x1s. Because one of our plays on this is the go package where he crosses over. And so he's trying to look up to help out over here, and the guy's running right off his back. At very worst, it should have been one-on-one with the safety.
Right.
At very worst. Good job by Taco not chasing it.
Mhm.
Saying just don't even chase it. Now, I'm gonna tell you something on this one. This may have been an overcall. This may have been an overcall for him because of where he is.
Right, I got
He's
you.
expecting something.
I
So
got
just protect yourself. He probably made an overcall. Come with me.
Mm-hmm.
They got something going on over here. This don't look right. This is Pitt. I don't know if we had the bubble on here or not. But if we did have the bubble on here, the first thing you know, it ain't a pre-snap bubble. Because the guy's he's not enough in the gray area. He's right here and up on. Got numbers to give it and just read it out. This is the perfect example of when it may be a poor read, but he's in position to come get the quarterback right now. So it may be a poor read, run at him, and still throw the bubble. This is the perfect alignment for it right here. Single high safety. Remember what I said earlier? And we haven't done this yet. We're going to probably do it. Single high safety. Look at the seam every time you bubble, because he's got to play out to the bubble. His eyes got to be on helping with the zone play. His eyes can't be on this as much. Look at the seam. He's got to play out to the bubble. All he's got to do is shoot. One to two. Don't worry about him. 1 to 2. Now, here's a perfect example of
No overcall now.
no overcall, because nothing really spooked him.
Right.
But here's a perfect example of him hanging for a second. Because the guy's not true in the shade right here.
Right.
So he's going to hang to allow the sun to come off a little bit and then go off on this guy. Second read. This is a second read.
Reach, not reach.
Not reached. Not reached. The only thing Stevie could have did better here for me, and is don't hang so much to this.
Hugged up.
He still should have been chasing that.
Right,
to
chase
hit
a
it
little bit more.
there. Because it does two things. And where I can show you film after film after film, where it affects him
Right.
more than these down linemen. Because the more he chase right here, the more he's committed to trying to fit there. The minute he turns up, he tries to start coming back. So help your lineman out by chasing a little bit more. See, this one, he ain't chasing good enough. And hit it there, as opposed to closer to here.
So your track is a moving track, is one way to put it.
It's a moving track, yes, sir. He could have thrown the bubble here, but this is up to him. But he could have thrown the bubble here. I'm glad he didn't, because this guy missed his block. You know what I mean? Right there, he missed the block, but he could have thrown the bubble.
You're sure right about their vertical seam problems.
Oh, coach. Oh man, that's I already got that. That's in the works right now. 2 high safeties is this area, 3 high safeties is the same. But this is pretty good by Stevie. He just make your read, son. Just make your read. Let's see if his read's right. First read's not read. I ain't bouncing it. I know now it's a bang up bend. I gotta take 2 steps past to let them flow. Now I'm a chase. Second read's not reach. I gotta bend it. Remember I said that bend actually ends up 5-6 yards from it?
Yeah.
Looks like it's cutting back. It's really not. It's just he's off the leverage of what's happening, and that's his lane.
One more time, coach. Basically, and I know you guys agree, the bang, the bend, and the bounce are all taking place in the same
Right.
horizontal
Yeah.
place on the field. It's just what the leverage of the defenders are.
That's why we don't have the stretch play. We did that, like I said.
Consistent
The stretch is
about
built in.
six.
The stretch for us is a 2-bag type. It's built in. We gonna make them wrong. We ain't got to call stretch in zone. Now belly is different. Belly's a different play for us.
Right.
I think we bubbled this one. Yeah, we bubbled it. He could have thrown it. That's his option. He can throw it if he wants. I mean, you can see he's got the time to see it, right? Here, he's got the option right now to pull it out and run right downhill. But he put his eyes on the read. The read said give it, so he gave it. And in his mind, the guy was reached.
Hey, Calvin, it's a little bit of an awkward thing, but when you're throwing the belly off of that, I mean, the
bubble.
the bubble, it's kind of an awkward throw, isn't it?
You know, we
I mean, if you run off the mesh, it's just a pop, but I mean, if you start to run it, it's a little bit.
It is, but they haven't had no trouble really doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, they just, you know, it's just, if he's that wide open, it's just a flick out there, it's just here.
Teams start playing you like this, 3-by-1, to throw the split end side slant here. I mean, do you start, we're looking at that kind of stuff off of this?
Yeah, that's the goal. I mean, that's the whole philosophy of no back. If you get single one-on-one, throw the slants, throw the hits, and all that. It's hard for Georgia was different. They stayed in two shell for some reason, but it's hard for us because we almost always, because of our quarterback runs and P fakes, have a guy dropping.
Yeah.
So we scared to throw slants at single receiver because the guy's dropping so
Yeah.
much against us.
It's hard to imagine anybody staying in a two shell against you guys.
But you know what? We went to, and we argued for a week. We kept, they kept saying, Calvin, man, we need, ain't no way Georgia's gonna stay in this two shell against us. Ain't no way they're gonna stand. I kept saying, for 12 games, they've been in this two shell. They have won the SEC conference. They ain't coming out just for us. And I believe that. I say they're not coming out of the two shell just because they're playing us, but they didn't beat everybody else playing it. And they did. I was sitting out there even in shock saying, golly, they're not coming out of the two shell. We just ran the ball. And another thing we did against Georgia, which it ain't part of what we was going to talk about today, but they tried to play what they call a trap two alignment. He was the defender to the two side. Now, 2x2, you can really see it because they both was the number 4 to both sides. So we just P-faked it and threw it in the hole right here.
Yeah.
I mean, it was out in the backfield. He's trying to play the run, and we just did the same action and threw the ball to him right here.
Right, that area.
Yeah. But to that back, that guy was reached. Even though he penetrated a little bit. Now, let's see.
You obviously use the word discipline all the time. Patience is the other one.
Patience to the hole, but not through the hole. Patience to chasing it, but once you see it, go. Now this is another example of him. It's very tempting to take this cheese. It's very tempting to take the cheese. See it open up? It's very tempting. But to him, the guy was reached.
He's reached because he's not running.
Right.
Yeah, right. The guy's reached to him, so he continued. He just took it.
If he told you right there, if he stuck his foot in the ground and went inside, would you tell him he was wrong?
No. Let me tell you why. That's why you chase. If right here that leverage changed on him,
Right.
if he plants his foot and take it,
Say
no,
right.
he's not wrong.
Okay.
Because he did what I asked him to do. He took 2 steps past, he chased it, and now he sees the leverage have shifted on him. Your job is to make him right.
Mm-hmm.
So if he would have planted his foot and went, and guess what? Would have had a big play. So that's what makes it so three-dimensional. You make them wrong. Again, a faster kid, I'm going to tell you this now, a slower kid puts his foot in the ground right here, and he takes that because he ain't getting that even that quick. A faster kid thinks, oh, coach, he had a reach. I knew he wasn't coming off on him. I'm gone. And as long as he made his read like he just did, he's right. I mean, I can't. We have it any way we want it here. I mean, that's that trap 2 alignment by him. He's actually in the top 2 alignment. He was going to be the run defender right here.
Easily could have bubbled it again.
Easy could have bubbled it. Now he got to do a better job on that corner, taking the angle and hit. I mean, getting on him. But and as you game plan, if a team's trying to play you by replacing, it's so many things you can do. You can P-fake and run seam. That's
Right.
part of what you. But this, we got numbers to just hand it.
What do you mean by P-fake? Just play fake? Okay.
Yeah, play fake. Georgia was the team that squeezed a lot. Georgia Boston College played this too. They squeezed and came back on boots and stuff like that. That's a gift for them. Ain't nobody chasing a play now.
Even in the two shell, they're screwed against the seams. Agreed here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but the thing I believe, me studying it, is they're more screwed in the curl area. Like it's the same play.
Just choice route.
Yeah, just we already said this one, right? To me, Coach, they're more screwed in this area, right here, versus a two shell. Because when he goes, now he's blitzing up, but normally he would be working out. And since you don't want to run the seam right at him, he's just right in here. He's got to worry about this out here, you know. So it's right in this curl area. Where they can't. Because if he wasn't coming, he would be working out to the ball. The big bad All-American right there. Big blue. See how Stan Tech held the one off just a second? Because, I mean, not to leave the center hanging. Now, I just put, because we do some under center. I just put a couple of under centers here to show you that nothing changes for the back. The only difference is the steps under center is open, crossover, roll downhill. But you roll down here after tackle's butt. It ain't no different. All you're doing under center is taking from where you took the handoff from in gun and taking your 2 steps past. Well, under center, you just taking your 2 steps past.
Open cross roll.
Open cross roll.
Yeah.
Same thing you did, yeah. Open cross roll.
Yeah.
And this is the true freshman. And the only reason I'm telling you the true freshman, you can teach, because you're teaching them all the same thing. So here it's his first reads here ain't no different. Now I will say that in the Eagle defense, he ain't got nothing to do with our read. It's as if he's not in that. It's as if we're in rip. The stand-up Sam linebacker have nothing to do with our read. It goes to the first down lineman to the second down lineman. We ain't even worry about him. The only way you worry about him is if you get the reach read right now. Then it's a leverage ball. Okay. So right here, it's first read went inside, so I'm bouncing it. I ain't talking about bouncing it outside the tight end. I'm just talking about it's just I'm outside. I'm not banging it and I'm not bending it. Right there.
Question for you, Cal, an offensive line thing here, but you want that right tackle to stay a little bit more square here.
Yeah, we actually was not happy with him turning his right shoulder in.
That's when they get in trouble.
That's when they get in trouble.
Backers tough.
We actually did not want him to do that. But at least he comes back off, but he's a little late. But at least he passes it off and comes back off. And the tailback's right on it. Right on it. We lost this kid, he transferred. That dude would have been something special too.
Where'd he end up?
Most highly recruited athlete in West Virginia history.
Is that,
It was down Jason Weldon, out of New York, North Alabama. It was down at Usher Heights State and USC. He announced this thing on ESPN the day before signing day. He came to us. Hell of a player. Got hurt in the Rutgers game. Stevie took over and never looked back, and he just was like, he's at Nassau Community College right now.
wow.
You know, didn't want to go to class, didn't want to do our rules, so I benched him before he got hurt. He started doing right, played on the Rutgers game, and he got hurt. But after that, he was just like, golly. But it's an open crossover roll. And all his eyes go on right there. You can see his head almost go right on the first read. First read's inside, I know I'm not banging it or bending it. I'm right off, I'm chasing his heels. Chase his heels, Jason, right
If
there.
for some reason
He's
Sam
right in the
came
right
inside
spot.
the tight end, he'd bounce it even one more gap, right?
If, once he gets this read right,
'Cause
that
that's- yeah,
becomes
once-
his leverage read.
Right.
That's exactly right. That's his leverage read. He stays right on course. The best part of this play is he did just what he's supposed to do. He chased his heels down. That's the position you want to be in right
Right.
there. Now this is 3x1 ram line, nothing changes. Here's where you go 1 to 2, 1 to 2, right here. This is another form of, this is their wave blitz, a zone blitz. You know,
Right.
and we like running right into the zone blitz, because watch left tackle pass it on.
You get this one copy, right, Ron?
Yeah.
This is nice. Left tackle, don't take the
Mhm.
T's, Garrett. Stay square.
One arm
Yeah,
bench.
don't take the
Boom.
T's.
Yep.
Boom, right off to the back. Press it. See, don't lean too quick. Press it. And I think he did a decent job coming 2 steps past the quarterback. You see, 1, 2. Now go.
All right, let me ask you a question here about the left guard. Isn't he think he should pass this guy off?
Which
But-
one?
I think it's the left guard here. First. Let's move it.
The end comes all the way inside.
Now, if he's 2 men removed, you're gonna lock on? 2 gaps removed? I mean, technically he crosses his face, but he's 2 gaps removed.
Yeah, but he gonna pass it off when he feel the center with him on his hip.
Okay.
Now he probably feel right here, and the center gone. The center's up to the next level, and we have 2 gap passed it off before, but he know I better lock up right here. Receivers make 80 blocks. It'll be. This is not a zone. This is actually an under center stretch play. The only difference between this play and the zone, it's blocked the same. We wanted something, I wanted something, and Tricky wanted something that from under center in 4 receivers. Because sometimes we like to go under center and get our guys downhill. With short edges, you know, without a tight end, with short edges that take you open cross roll, you're just too wide sometimes for a short edge 5. So under center, I would just take a drop step. Instead of sending them like this, take a drop step, make your same read, same aiming point, and just come downhill at it. And that's all this is. Still a zone. Still see the same thing. It just puts them more downhill because you got that short edge 5 technique, right? So all you're gonna do here is to the line is zone. Same thing. But all I did with the back was drop stepped them and took them on that same angle to chase the tackle's heels down. Still making this 1-2 read. You know, because of the short edge.
Yeah.
Now, this is my favorite one right here. Now you know, one of the answers to exchange and back at scrape, squeeze. One of the answers is just, instead of being in Liz, ripping Liz, 4 receivers, we still got the same thing play side. It's like Liz. We just put a tight end here because it's hard to exchange the tight end side. You know what I mean? It's hard to exchange because you can clamp it off. Plus you're removing the whole backer from. The minute I see them start trying to stack or move a little bit wider to play the zone and play the speed option. Anything inside trapping. Or we just want to go downhill.
It's a little more of an attitude play.
It's a little bit more of an attitude because it's right now, it's, you know, downhill, it's knock them off the ball a little bit.
So width and flow.
With,
Width and flow in
Yes.
terms of linebackers.
yes. Think of any coaching other coaching points. It's really not anything. Now the bells and whistles come off, and we do a dash, which is same side receiver back up and get the pitch relation, and we do a triple, which is the other side back come around. And I got examples of all of those, I believe, on here. Of the belly series. The first belly we run is belly and belly bubble. Belly is read, it's automatically read, you know. And then the belly bubble is that same thing you saw off the zone bubble. Just different aiming points, different hitting a different area.
Watch you run. Play first.
Good, thanks, Bush.
Of course, my daughter's birthday tonight, where she wanna go, pizza.
Is there a good pizza place in there, or is it?
No, just near you. You probably know it. T. Anthony's on Tom Ave.
Oh, yeah.
They're my boys.
Yeah, they are good there.
Best pizza in the country.
It is pretty good.
This is zone read, this is in public. This is just, I'm gonna move fast to the belly, but this is him getting a pull read. Right here. See right here, he had the option, I just want to show you, because this is one way he actually pulled it. Off the pull read, right there, he could have threw the ball. But he don't need to, the thing open up.
Shoulders turn, open
Yeah.
up. One more time, please. You get a little excited thinking Mike Cook running this series, don't you?
Yeah. Use that speed.
I mean, what teams are doing now around the country, if they don't have a quarterback who can, if they don't have a great athlete who can do it, they are putting in series for that great athlete to do all of this stuff. You know, Rutgers doing, everybody's doing it now. So
You're right, everybody's doing it. Holy crow.
You know, that's an easy read. You can see the guy just, I mean, he's coming right now.
What's his block doing here?
Yeah, he did. He turned back around. I thought I already showed you something bubbles, but, you know. Yeah, we already see these on the other tape. So I could go. That was on that. So you see some of these twice. This was on that tape he dubbed. This is the same side. Now this I didn't show you. This is same side zone bubble. It still affect the overhang. So you can hand it up to it. So this guy's in a pickle. This guy don't know if to come fit the run or, you know.
No mesh in this particular case.
Well, you know,
You get a little play action anyway.
I think they cheat. I think the quarterback kind of says something to the back so he won't come knock the ball out of his hand.
Okay.
You notice he ain't as flat as, you know, he goes down a little bit in front so he won't go knock his elbow or hit his elbow or anything. He kind of just said, bubble, bubble. He just tell him. This is between them two.
You feel like you're getting the play action effect over here.
Yeah, because it is. Because of the way, see, these guys' eyes and all their eyes, they're on this. That look like zone coming right at them. That's what affects them. Yeah, that looks like zone coming at him. This is the balk. I'll put an example of the balk, soft corner. And he don't get to block it, but you'll see why we do this. With the soft corner, instead of letting him chase. This is the answer to if you don't have the bubble and it's got a soft corner, just balk it. And a lot of these we look at and say, boy, Lee, if we would have had it all, you know, coach, you know how we are. But you can't take that out of his,
Right.
you know, because sometimes you go, oh, I wish you would have handed that off. But that's the whole premise of the offense. You know, make them play the whole field, the whole width of the field. And you can't be jumping on 11 on Adams saying, okay, this starts with the belly triple instead of belly. Okay. And I should have put this in reverse orders, but the belly triple is just, he runs belly. And in these early games, I had the same point going front side. You'll see why I changed it to backside. Because I want to affect the end. But on the belly triple, it is simply everybody up front runs the belly, including in the back to the belly call. The other back knows to triple it back around. And we still read the end the same way. So even if they exchange this, we ain't that worried about it, because it's still pitching off the exchange guy.
Right.
As long as you get the overhang with the block with the back. This is our number one play. This has got the most yards for us. It's I think very difficult to defend because you just got all three plays built into one. You know, the pull read and then it's still an option off of it. You know, his aim point right now would be right here. It used to be the front side here because I kept it consistent with the under center, but I changed it. It's much better if we aim right there to get him pushed by, to make him chase it, and then put him in the pickle. And that's a true read for him right there.
Well, let's talk about the read. And we dabbled in this, I think we ran a little bit against Columbia, Sean, but my question is, quarterback, it's basically a once he decides not to give the ball, meaning we've got a squeeze.
Yes.
If it's squeeze, it's key. If it's squeeze scrape, it's option.
If it's squeeze, anything is option.
Squeeze anything is option.
It's option. Yes. It is option.
Let me put it a better way. If it's squeeze with nothing there, it's keep. It's an option play, but it's keep.
It's key, yes.
It's pitch if we get any type of threat to the quarterback.
Exactly. It's the same as when you run at him and throw the ball. So yes, it's the same as just keep and then the option and overhang.
Calvin, how many times would you have run this in the course of a year? Close to 12 games. How many times a game do you think he ends up get called? Or gets run, I should say.
10 maybe?
A game?
Yeah, we ran this a lot, man. We ran this play a lot. It's a good play. Considering we didn't run it the first, not very much the first couple games. Considering that, we ran quite a bit. I'm trying to think because I want to be. I bet you 8, at least 8. I don't have the number on here, but I bet you at least 8 times a game.
All right, let's talk about
A couple times a quarter.
Let's talk about the option backs course, path, technique.
He's told, that's a good question. You know what he's doing. We already talked about him. He's told to run through the heels of this guy. Because after the fake, and they get a little deeper than that at times, which makes me uncomfortable. But he's told to angle through the heels of this guy, and then our pitch relation is 5-by-2. We want him 5 yards outside, away with, and 2 yards behind the quarterback. 5-by-2. So it's his job to get himself in pitch relationship. So I don't care how he gets there, but I tell him to aim through the heels of the other back.
It's almost like you almost want to run in the bubble that you talked the Nike swoosh that you talked about
Yeah,
at the start,
exactly.
and
Then get in that pitch phase,
Yeah.
which is a 5-by-2. And that varies because sometimes he gets bubbled wider, sometimes he gets downhill right now, but it's his job to get in that pitch relationship. Right here, he's thinking we blocking him, or we should be blocking him. And that's the guy who you're going to be reading off of. He's a little wider. You might be expecting a little bit of an exchange right here. And so if he exchanges, this is going to be your option guy right here. If he squeezes where you have to keep it, this is your option guy. If he's wide, you give it and we should be hitting that lane because remember he's going inside.
All right, let's talk about perimeter blocking here if we happen to be going to the 2 receiver side.
To the 2 receiver side is block the overhang. the gray area guy, base, and he's just a free player. He's a free player. We don't never free this guy out. He's being blocked. Single receiver side is just blocks man on, cornerback, or we started to, if he backs up like cover 4 and he moves in, we contemplate and let him block most dangerous threat. If he backs up and he feels just blocks it. Yeah.
Right, so essentially, we're always optioning a linebacker and not a secondary defender.
It could be because sometimes this guy is so much in the gray area. The more he's in the gray area, the more or less they are to exchange. That's why they put him in the gray area. That's the feeling we have. So he flows for the play. That's his exchange area. And sometimes he don't get there in time, so maybe he becomes a pitch man sometimes. It could be the strong safety.
So what do you,
Understand.
let's say you're running triple to the left here, Calvin,
Okay.
and you get a zone blitz here. And-
Zone blitz, we've hit some big ones on that. I don't know if I got it in. Zone blitz, a lot of times we end up giving it. He gets a give read
Okay, all right. that's
because
fine.
we don't feel like he can pitch it quick enough for the angles.
That answers my question. Okay, I'm good.
That's a give read from him. Then he said, "Got slanted side, it's 2 outside on me." You know. Now, like here, he didn't get him, but at least he's chasing him. But that's his guy, right there. I'm not so sure if it's not a give read. But let me see. See the guy squeezed down on him, so he felt like Belly's different. That square showed the guy on Belly is a pull read for him.
Correct.
You see what I mean? Because of where we aiming at. That's the difference.
So even if you're not running option, then it's just keep.
Right. Let me tell you why. And that's another reason why we changed it to right here. Because his job right here is to keep us. If he would have gave that ball, he would have hit that thing right. Remember I said chase the near hip of the center? He would have split that right there. You know? But he got a pull read, which is fine. So, but if one don't slant back like this, his read would have took him right back, and I said, make yourself get tackled.
Calvin, I
Make
missed
that
something.
guy that squeeze and tackle.
I missed something. Where's the pull read?
The guy squeezed on him. See,
That's enough?
That's enough.
That's enough on belly.
That's enough
For
on
this
belly.
one, right.
That's enough.
That's enough on belly.
You gotta admit, Rob, we would have never pulled that. That's
No, I agree with you. I'm saying that's what he.
Chooks is here if you want to say hi.
That's why this one right here is the hardest read to make. Because is he going, and that guy came back so quick, it made him look like he was wrong. But you can't make him second guess. When he did this on belly, you gotta remember, on belly in a perfect world, they ain't slanting the one back.
Right.
You know,
So he's probably hitting the B gap.
so he's probably hitting the big out, making this guy top.
Right.
That's the difference. They just happen to be slanting the one back. Now, this is one like you asked earlier. If he would have gave that, I would have said, I can see what you saw.
Right.
I would have said, I can see what you got. The guy's in that gray area on him.
He can't be wrong in this one, really.
Right, on this one,
Right.
because of the way the guy played it. Yeah. And there's some just clearly he screwed up, some that he made great reads on, but this is the gray area one when the guy does that and come back. Does that. But typically, if the guy is playing this technique, we would rather run the zone. Because he ain't chasing. And we got all these blockers front side to do it. I'll wait for Coach if you guys don't mind.
No?
Wait for Coach. All right, go back to- Pull, get. That's the easy one. Watch the guy first step. Give. They all screwed up. They trying to exchange, backer. Look at the backer. This will cause defense problem. They start wondering who to go to, he think he got this thing licked. He leaves right from the lane. Even though we had the tackle that right for him.
Well, that was the thing I was going to ask on the squeeze scrape. If you ever wind the tackle back out to block that.
Yeah,
The
Bell is different. Yeah, he could do that. Yeah.
It's not easy, is it?
No, but we had that long, we had about a 30-minute discussion on that the other day. It's easier on belly than zone
Mm-hmm.
because of the crossover stuff. Remember on
Right.
zone, he's gone.
Right, I'm with
So the wheel back is a little tough. On belly, he's not, so he's right under his feet anyway.
Mhm.
That's exactly the conversation we had the other day, and Tricky said it's much easier on belly than zone to do it. Because
I
I'm not
agree with
chasing
that.
the guy. I don't mind the guy flowing on belly,
Right.
so I just get on his shoulder and push him by. Whereas zone, you trying to go cut him off.
Right.
That's the difference. So it's much easier to do that on belly than zone, the wheel back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that.
And you know what I've said all the time? Sometimes even with an exchange, all this, a lot of times, and some teams do this, I don't want to do this. Some teams predetermine whether to give it or whether to, you know. But a lot of these plays I've watched, you could pull and pitch right here and still have a play.
Mm-hmm.
Just pull pitch.
See, this is where he wants to go a lot more to, a lot more of the option of everything.
This is,
Even in 2x2,
yeah.
motion the guy,
Yeah.
Option.
And we did that. And you know why we stopped? It was a personnel thing. If we had good, I mean, we do now, but they all were freshmen. What our first three of the first 4 slots were for high school running backs. 3 of our first 4 slots were high school running backs. So we could do it now, it'd be in great shape. Because them guys used to doing all this.
Right.
But before we didn't, because to take the backs that we had off to do it with them didn't make any sense for us. So it was a personnel decision.
Could you do it now out of your 20 personnel, and just one of those super backs is now a slot?
We could do that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. Not with the first 2 best guys I got, not with them. With everybody else I can. Because as a matter of fact, that 24 kid who I said lost his job after the first game, it became very obvious to him that he wasn't going to get it back. I mean, he went from second to third to fourth in like a 3-week span. So he walked in and said, Coach, I know it's going to be difficult for me to get back in. I'll play H. And that's what he plays now. But he could easily move right back to the max back because he's played it for 4 years. So that's the kind of guy, ideally, the kind of guy you want to be the H should also be the max back. In the perfect world, that's who we want to be the max back. If we was in rip right here,
Could you go over that again?
if we was in rip right here, every pass play we have, every assignment we have, this guy and this guy do the exact same thing. So it really don't make no sense for us to sub to play this or rip. It's just this guy ain't a very good receiver or best running back, so we have to live with doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But in the perfect world, this guy and this guy is the same person. Same thing. I mean, once he learned this, he'll learn this. So, and this is your main tailback right here. In the perfect world. We sub because these guys are just better than these guys. This guy was a 2,000-yard rusher in high school. And we recruited him as a running back. That's why. And when he got reported for the summer, he came to my office and said, Coach, man, my first glove was receiver. I said, well, why are you telling me this now? We recruited, another tailback. But he asked to be moved to receiver. And we like kids playing what they want to play. So I said, well, we could use it in the slot. Because we was also thinking of motioning him and doing all that stuff. So this is a former tailback, high school tailback, rushed for 2,000 yards. He could do it. And the H we got starting right now was a 1,900 rusher in high school. He just stayed hurt this year, he had all kind of that. So we finally got what we want in the slot. We got former tailbacks. And actually in preparations for the bowl game, this Jeremy Bruce kid he had learned all of this stuff. And we was ready to roll, and he got hurt like a week before the game. And he didn't even play in the bowl. But that's what we wanted here. Guys so Stevie could have stayed right here. We could have been in Rip and went to Rip Max season. We could have went to Rip or we could have been in Rio. Because when we're in Rio, the back's away from the certain plays. We could have easily went 3-by-1 had him here and ran belly triple this way just by motioning him back.
Right.
And all you tell him is you want to be right here when the ball snaps, even though you're motioning. That's all. You know, it's the same stuff. But this is an easy pull read right here for him. The guy steps out and give it.
What we were talking about, Coach, where he gone is the left tackle here, trying to do that wheel on him, on the squeeze scrape. It's easier to do when the tighter play, there it is the wider play, obviously.
Because he's not crossing over.
Right.
Right.
And then the other thing we talked about is that last play with the, could have been a pull read, was because with an A-gap player, a lot of times this play is going to hit in this B-gap, with their aiming point being here.
It comes
And
back.
if that guy doesn't jump outside, it's going to hit in the B-gap. That's why the,
But this is one way you tell a quarterback, if he would have gave it, he's right. If he would have pulled it, he's right.
So your quarterback, you're basically saying, a lot of times you can't be wrong if you pull on this play.
On this squeeze. Because the
Yes,
square squeeze is the toughest one to go, and it's his interpretation of what he thought. Coach, he was too tight for me to get back out there. Coach, he was too in the gray area, so I just gave it.
Do you always have to have belly with option then?
No, if we don't run belly with option, he treats it. This guy, they block belly. He treats it as finding number 4, just like the zone. If we don't triple this, okay, if we call 34 right here, and we don't, the triple is only talking to this guy. If he don't get the triple, he thinks 34, I'm just a lead blocker. I just run zone. I just go in and get number 4 and be an extra guy.
Number 4, front side or back side?
Front side. It's just a straight belly read. That's all it is. If he, it's just like being in, to him, it's just like being in, it goes hand in hand with what we were just talking about. He's just the rip guy. He's just like we was in rip, running 34 weeks.
If you call 34, he's got number 4 strong.
Yeah.
But the
block
quarterback,
the
the
corner
quarterback
in
was
this
still
case.
yanking though.
He would block the corner in this, exactly. He would block the corner. Corner can't, that's his number 4.
And the quarterback, though, if it was
Still
locked in,
read.
still read it.
Right.
Just doesn't have an option man now.
Just don't have an option. That's exactly right.
do you ever predetermine that you're calling triple?
Oh yeah, that's a call. That's a call.
Meaning it's not a read, or it's a straight call, straight option call?
No, you mean with him coming around?
Do you ever call just straight triple,
Oh.
no belly triple, or no belly triple?
No,
just
no,
triple?
no. You mean straight pull?
It's all
pitch?
a read
No.
series.
No, no. If we did that, the only thing we do that really, as a mixer, that really screws people up, is we'll call 19 right here. Now 19 is just speed option. You understand what I mean?
Right.
But if we code it with a term, like Lucy, like Lucy and Roger, if we just say Lucy, that's load option. It's been a good play for us. Now all we do is he runs triple. He just don't do the belly part of it. He's the low guy. He goes around the end and block him, and we run option. But this is the same by these two. See, I mean, he goes inside to block backside. We block that. It's really good. Really good. Really good.
So when you know you want to run option, you're going to call you're going to call speed option,
Speed option.
to get yourself to it.
Speed option. Now, on the speed option, and I know I'm getting ahead, but on the speed option, that's talking to them two. They just run speed option.
Yeah.
He ain't involved in the play. He's just a backside guy. He just not let the guy chase it down. Remember, they all block zone 19, and he's just the backside guy. Same way as that zone read, that zone quarterback. If he's away from the play, I'm just a backside guy. I just block off the backside edge.
Kelvin, when you want to run speed option, I'm just assuming here now, tight inside linebacker, a guy sort of half in the box but very blockable.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one of the times you want to run speed option?
With to tight inside?
To the split side. Okay. Tight inside linebacker. Actually, a guy half in the box, gray area, but very blockable.
Yeah, we're running. That's what we're running. If we in this, we're looking for the A-gap linebacker. The linebacker's closest to the ball. Because of this, it's hard for him to get that. Straight speed option.
You said that one right there was not a good look for straight speed, right? Because the backers bumped out on that one.
For which one?
And the last one was straight speed.
No, the straight speed. If I just wanted to run an option, right here, on that look, I would have ran Lucy before straight speed option.
Right.
I would have wanted him to get on him.
Gotcha.
Lucy tells him he can go all the way back
Yeah.
and clamp that. I ain't got to chase the front side back. It's like that max call.
Yeah.
I got it out for him.
Yeah.
But straight speed option wasn't even, the Lucy wasn't even in this game plan. We was gonna run the straight speed option, which we did a couple times.
Can you run that back one more time?
While we running belly, look how wide they see. We have been killing them with the zone. Look how wide they saw yet.
Question I was going to ask here. Now, why you're running it to the 3 technique here, obviously, Calvin, right?
Yes.
That's just a change up.
Yeah, because we ain't aiming over here anyway. We aiming at the one. We want to push the one back.
Right.
But he does a good job reaching them, so he's going to chase that. Near up at that center.
So my question is, when you're running belly, are you more apt or less apt to run it to the A-gap defender?
No, it's 50-50. It really is. It's 50-50. It is 50-50 on that. It works out that way because, it works out that way because teams try to cheat with the half man. So most half man defenders gonna be to the 1 and the 5 because they feel like they got an extra guy with the alley player, put him in a position where he can't block. See, this is what I was talking about earlier, and I just don't want to do it. But to bubble him on this triple really puts him in the bind. Do I pitch man? Do I go chase the bubble? I just haven't, this guy scares me. That's why I've been holding off on him. But I keep contemplating adding the bubble with this, but it's just, that might be overcoaching,
You can add the bubble if you can't block him. If you feel like you can't block him.
Yeah, just to put him more of a bind. But that might be overdoing it, because right now, if he pitched this ball, if he had to pitch it, look at the angle he got on the block, and we still running.
And, not to repeat what you're saying, but when you're on the bubble, you just get the pitch sooner.
Yeah, right. Now here's one, and this is where the rookie gotta get a little bit better understanding. And this is the next phase of taking him to reading this. Whenever you get a B gap blitzer, it could easily be a poor read because there's none two outside. That's almost like the end squeezing.
Right.
Because even if you pull it, it's still just one guy to option off of.
You got a number. I mean, you're good.
Yeah, we good.
You're gonna pitch off
Once
the
that
end.
once he disappears, there's no exchange. That's the tackle taking the end down or him chasing.
So did you tell him really this pitch key is the first thing that shows up outside the tackle?
His pitch key is that, yes,
I mean,
exactly right.
whatever it is,
Whatever
that
shows up. That's why I
doesn't
say it
matter.
could be a safety, a linebacker, or it could be in.
Right. It's the first thing
It's
outside
the
your
first thing
tackle.
outside the tackle. That's exactly right. But he had his eyes straight on the DN here, which told him give.
Right.
Which told him give. But he could have easily pulled this ball and pitched right there and got late. You know what I mean?
Which chances are, if you're reading the end on any kind of inside plug, you're always going to get a give read probably because there's little chance that the end's coming
Yes.
inside. So
Yes. Exactly.
you got to be able to see
Exactly.
both. Yeah.
Hello,
How you doing,
Coach. How you doing?
Hey, Mr. Druggy, what's going on, Gary?
Good. Good to see you. I want to interrupt.
Good to see you, Gary.
How you doing?
Great, yourself? It's Calvin
How you
McGee,
doing?
Hi, good.
Offensive Coordinator, West Virginia.
That's me.
Gary Doherty. How are you?
Good.
Sean Ryan. How you doing, Sean? You mind if I sit in, Coach?
It's up to Coach.
You will go with us, or?
Okay, he's a high
Oh,
school
it's
coach.
Kevin?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Kevin's, I
Kevin's
think
down
Kevin
low.
worked it out,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry.
You're very welcome.
Yes.
All right, just want to repeat what you said, make sure I have it straight, it makes sense. You're treating B-gap blitz like just reverse squeeze screen,
Yes.
and so it's a,
Exactly.
make it a keep.
Slash hard squeeze, great, yeah. So it could be a poor read. Now,
But it's
here's,
gotta be,
it's gotta be
this
the,
guy,
no,
right?
it can't be
Yeah,
the
it's gotta
Mike,
be
it's
the-
gotta be the outside guy,
Right.
that guy, that overhanging defender,
Right,
that
gotcha.
rear defender.
What's gonna be the overhanging feather?
the blitz.
The blitz guy, it can't be the
It can't
Mike
be
walking,
this guy.
it can't be two still left here and the Mike walking there.
Gotta be some type of under. It's a little under, no under.
Now here's one that I told you, very seldom do it come on front side, but this is him making his key read, staying in his point of attack, and it just kind of falls right into the B side. He ain't looking for that, it just kind of falls into it. He's been disciplined enough to get right in here, in his spot, and now that just opens up right in front of him.
Right.
That's just being a player. Give read, simple. Give read.
Now, who adjusts their depth here? Looks like the running backs, right?
Well, yeah, we had 6 yards.
They
on
get
the
deeper, not the
Yeah.
quarterback gets tighter.
No, when the ball is, when the formation is called and the play is called, they know based on the play whether to get 5 yards or 6 yards. This is the formation that if you only line up in it for this play, I'm not picking on Temple, but we played Temple a few years ago, and it was almost embarrassing. Every time there was at 6 yards, there was a run, and every time there was a pass, it was 5 yards a pass. And we thought, surely they got to know that. You know, I mean, our defense knew every time they were going to run, every time. So, you know, that made me conscious of saying, this about the only play we get at 6 yards depth for the belly triple. So now we got a whole bunch of stuff we do from this depth, drop back screens. So now it's back to guessing game on what we run, you know, because you can't just.
I miss this part, Calvin, that it's a different line, I can see it now, but
Yeah.
I miss that. You can't get away with it at toes at 5?
Well, the problem with toes at 5 is you can't get them downhill as much as I want them.
So the minute, is a starting point now, the minute they see the quarterback up and the back's back, why are they thinking outside zone / why are they thinking zone? Why aren't they automatically thinking belly for one of the zone plays?
Because of all of the other stuff we do from this alignment.
But you don't do zone from this line.
We don't do zone. They could think belly. They could think straight belly, but we do speed option. We hope they tighten up. We run speed option. You know, you gotta have other stuff that, okay, if they're in tight alignment and they think belly, what else can we run? We got our 58 screen, that's really tough. We got enough other stuff that run-wise, we can run ISO, straight ISO play that we do from this alignment. We got enough other stuff to do from this alignment that, you know, it don't matter. It'll never give it away. Plus, and when I was first told this, because I was the one saying, well, we got to have a whole lot of stuff, and I did that. But then, you know, these guys, they so hurrying up to line up and stuff, they don't know, half the time they don't even notice we deeper. You know, but like Temple, for instance, was a huddle team. They broke the huddle, they took their time, they came out, they were at 6 yards, regular cadence, and it was like, oh, they had plenty of time, 6 yard depth, 6 yard depth. And our defense used to do it. Here comes the belly, here comes the belly, you know. And then we start putting all this other stuff in. Now they playing this. The depth out of the belly play, we went something totally different, and it just screwed them all up. So they stopped trying to even read the depth. This is one of the reasons why it keeps scaring me to add the bubble to this. Because if he's in position to block, you still got to play.
Oh, God.
Easy pull reform. Now, another thing we tell this guy, it is not a ride. This is not veer off. It's, if you get a pull read, take it back into your stomach. Don't touch the back. You know, if you notice right here, he pulls it back. There's got to be, he can't stick it in there and ride it and pull it. It's a, you keep it there because it's the back's responsibility to come through the handoff. Watch him stick it out. It's the back's job to go through the handoff. If it gets snatched back, you just run it like you have it, but you don't.
Cal, let me come back to the 6 yard, 5 yard deal. Is that, you know,
That's a big point, yeah.
in principle bugs me.
Mhm.
In the evolution of this thing, I mean, obviously you can get up there and run zone from 5 yards. We do it, not that we love it, because we say the same thing. It's a hard cut for the running back. But just no way to marry those two together.
The 5 yards?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the way, because we've done it. I just personally think it's better with us coming downhill at the belly triple. And for matter of fact, the first few we watched was at 5 yards. And it worked just as good. It really did. And you might see some more, because them guys forget sometimes. Watch as we go up. You'll see someone at 5 yards. Here's the answer. We just decided not to do it. We did it all last spring. Here's the answer. We had that same discussion. We were going to tie this in to the zone. You know that same max zone? The only difference was going to be instead of handing it off under, he was just going to turn and give it to him there. You could easily do that. If you sell on 5, this is a true answer. You could do it at 5 yard and it'll probably be just as effective. The only difference is your back won't have as much momentum going downhill on the belly part of it. It's the only difference. That's, you know, it's getting downhill to go. To make that end squeeze and tackle. When we had 5 yards, we found that guy making arm tackles more than if we was downhill and him trying to reach for it. We were running right through the arm tackles. Like if this end would have was a little wide and you gave it because you got the give read, he was able to make that play a little bit quicker than if we was downhill at him right now. So we backed him up, changed the end point, boom. And this is the way we did it at first, to tell you the truth, the first way. Then we went to 5 yards for that same reason. And it made more sense for us, so we added more stuff from here. So since we was going to keep him at 6, we experimented with snapping it and running 36 and just handing it here. And we liked it. But we just said, you know, it cut the back's read off just a little bit because he had to cross the quarterback.
Right.
From keeping his eyes on the 1-2 read.
But your real answer, right, is you're not concerned about it because if they pack people inside, I'm going to run speed option. I got a great play outside.
Our back screens, we had other stuff that,
Fine.
our quarterback, our drop back.
I can attack in the perimeter still, so I'm okay.
Exactly. That's why we wasn't that worried about it. And we worry about it every week. We still, you know, we coach, we worry about it every week, but until they just come up with a way to stop it. And I think the answer is to still keep it flexible enough to do other stuff. And we do have enough stuff. We run quarterback zone right now if they want to pack the belly triple up.
Mm-hmm.
That same max quarterback zone where he's the cutter and he's number 4 guy, if they want to start doing all that, we pass it, we can run that same quarterback zone. So the answer would be tight back as they playing the belly triple, quarterback zone. And we could do it just as good from 5 yards to 6 yards. But we have experimented with that. Say time's up. Got to take the snap. Because these guys supposed to move when the ball moves, and the ball got to travel 5 yards. So as soon as the ball snaps, he takes off like zone, and he just gets on his own track, and we still got the same outside play. So we got answers for it. And I bet you we'll see somewhere they didn't line up at 6 because they, you know, the freshmen always look across at this boy who's a little older. Even though this is his first year playing for us, he was a Division III transfer guy from Wisconsin River Falls. Best player on our football team right there. By far.
He's Division III.
River Falls, Wisconsin River Falls, Division III school. Not recruited out of high school. Played 1 year, he was a tailback. After his freshman year, he said, man, he always wanted to play Division I ball. He's not a kid. And he's like, I know I can do this. He went on Maryland's campus and said, brought his tape, and they told him he had no use for us. He went to Tech. What's the nearest school? He drove on our campus and said, Coach, I think I can play here. He left his tape, he pulled it off. Before he was even off our campus, we was called. He said, I just want to walk on. I want no scholarship. I just want to try it. And he's our best football player. Just so you about recruiting and all the evaluate, he's our best football player. Our oldest man. I promise you. I'm talking about football player. Just, he's about 6'1", 6'2", 250, and outright can run and block, and I mean, and he's 4'5", 4'6" kid. Believe it or not, at 250, and that's I mean. 4'6" works.
On the last one right there, how are you talking to the quarterback about pitch key on the last one that we just saw?
Well, the A-gap linebacker's pitch key is here now. So instead of pitching it off him, he just figured he'd just keep it himself. So he's trying to get around that because he knows the block here.
So he's just playing.
He's just playing ball. But that's his pitch key right there.
I got you.
He could have pitched.
Yeah.
Well, why is it his pitch key you're blocking?
That's the whole philosophy. We're really up 2 on 1, then none. So, and this has been the argument sitting in the meetings. You know, this has been the arguments. Receiver coach goes, man, we wasted him. You know, I'm telling you, we wasted. We do a little bit. We give it to him right now. Right there, talking about that.
No, what I'm talking about is, let's say people start to drop beat on you, that you run into the A-gap defender, and you show one way and he comes back the other.
We're gonna do
Do you run any of the tackle trap out of the shotgun, the tackle pull
the
stuff?
dart. We haven't run that in about 3 years. I think we ran one time this season. Just at the end of a game, we ran it one time.
You like it just because the quarterback, it's a good pickup when the quarterback keeps you.
It sure is, the dart piece. But again, the reason we stopped running that is because of having 4 weak or 4 strong in the one back, and you can get screwed and have an extra block. I mean, an extra defender. And it just wasn't decided, it was a guessing game. Now, this is the belly dash. Now, remember, triple is somebody coming around. Dash is same side. So you read it, now he's a pitch guy. That's all, the same side guy.
Just sync motion from here?
No, it's just back up and run the dash.
Well, that's just back up.
Oh, yeah.
Back up,
I
get
thought you
the
said it all.
relationship.
Yeah,
So he just got to get 5x2.
5x2. That's exactly right. Now, this was harder because they got us with the exchange.
Right, the exchange
You know,
gets
with
you
you
on this
outside.
one.
Right. Now, we got better with reading that exchange and he would give this. And the backs, that's why we took the back 8 front. Instead of trying, this was early when we were still on front side 8. This is one of the reasons why we took him backside 8 too. Because now when he started reading this exchange and he locked up, he was able to take it now backside 8 gap and then hit that lane right there on the exchange.
Right.
See the wide copy of that again, please?
And they tip it off a little bit, that back is wider.
Mhm.
Yeah, you've already said it, but if you think there's any chance of an exchange here, you don't want to run this because you got a guy unblocked.
Well, now I don't mind because I was aiming for it on the back.
I
It'd
guess
be a
that-
give read.
It'd be a give read. The same way it'd be
I got
that back of beat blitz read.
I got you. It's a give read because of what you think
Right.
the tight end's gonna, the tackle's gonna take care of business.
Right.
Right. Which he does here, perfect. He just rides that guy on down in there, and that's the cut, right at the official. Now he could have tried to come on. This guy's wrong here. He's got to back in a little bit to get that pitch release. See, he's too wide.
Out of curiosity, how fast was your quarterback?
He's a 4.5 kid. I mean, I was straight coach clocking like 4.4 something, but them guys always. Now here's our number one screen off the zone to get the flow. We sell zone with everybody and throw the screen back to them because I know one of the things is what's your best screen to complement.
So it's basically a blind jailbreak screen?